Did you know that Deloris Van Cartier in Sister Act was written for another diva who wasn't Whoopi Goldberg? Or that Tom Cruise wasn't the Tom intended to star as Jerry Maguire? Maybe things do happen for a reason. After the recent admission that Kate Beckinsale wasn't the first choice intended for Serendipity, we decided to a deep dive into the roles that almost were. Here are 16 iconic roles from our favorite films and television shows who almost had totally different leads. What would Serendipity have been like with a different leading star? While Kate Beckinsale portrayed the character Sarah Thomas opposite John Cusack's character Jonathan Traeger in the 2001 romantic comedy, the movie's director revealed last week that the pairing almost didn't happen. Like many other instances in Hollywood, Beckinsale, 48, was up against other actors for the role of Sarah. Director Peter Chelsom told Insider that at the time, there were 3 other actors he had considered for the part before Beckinsale was cast in the lead, including Jennifer Aniston.
Someone who came extremely close was Carla Gugino, he said, referring to the Spy Kids star. Her audition was spectacular. I ended up casting her in my movie years later, The Space Between Us. Claire Forlani came close and I distinctly remember Jennifer Aniston coming in to meet us. Chelsom recalled the happenings of the meeting with Aniston, explaining, I remember when she came in, she said, I do a romantic comedy once a week, her being on Friends. At the time, so she clearly had other things on her plate and it was her decision not to do it. She had come to meet with me in good faith without an offer, but we definitely would have made her an offer if she wanted to make it, he said. In the end, Beckinsale scored the role of Sarah, starring alongside Cusack, Jeremy Piven, Molly Shannon, John Corbett, Bridget Moynihan, and Eugene Levy in the rom-com classic. Ahead of the movie's 20th anniversary on October 5th, Chelsom shared more background information on the film and its creation. In the interview, he revealed that Beckinsale's character, Sarah, was originally written as an American. Kate Beckinsale came in and she did her first reading in an American accent, he explained. It was good. Her accent is fine, but for me, I like it when people played close to home. So I felt to get the most access and warmth out of Kate and for it to be more personal she had to just go British. Chelsom had Beckinsale read the scene again, this time in her British accent. He said this time around, it was great, adding, so that was the decision I made at that audition. It felt right. The New York City-centric rom-com earned $77.5 million at the worldwide box office with a $28 million budget, but in recent years has picked up in popularity thanks to DVD, cable television, and streaming services. Still to this day, fans approach Beckinsale to compliment her on Serendipity, including a slew of male fans. I've done so many of what I'd broadly and badly call boys movies, action movies and such, but if a man comes up to me and says I love a movie, it's always Serendipity, she told Vulture in 2020. Every single time. I find that really cool. When you're making something that's a whimsical rom-com, you think it'll skew more toward female audiences. And it absolutely doesn't. Hathaway revealed on an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race that her portrayal of Andy Sachs almost never was. After being asked if she had to fight for any roles, she replied, I will give you some tea, I was the 9th choice for Devil Wears Prada. But I got it. Hang in there, never give up. While Hathaway didn't reveal any actors who were considered ahead of her for the role of Andy, it was previously reported by Variety that Rachel McAdams was one of Fox's first choices because they were looking for a bigger name. McAdams told Elle in 2007 that she wasn't going to make movies just to make movies. I have to be passionate about it, she explained. And at the same time, I can get very distracted when I'm working, and I like to get back to my life a lot. When reflecting on any mistakes in her career, Bette Midler admitted that she had made many, including turning down a role in Sister Act. The iconic performer told Metro in 2010, there was Sister Act, which was written for me, but I said, my fans don't want to see me in a wimple. I don't know where I got that from. Why would I say such a thing? As we know, Whoopi Goldberg scored the role as Deloris Van Cartier and even went on to make a sequel, Sister Act 2. Anastasia Steele was Dakota Johnson's breakout role in the 50 Shades franchise, but the part nearly went to Emilia Clarke. The Games of Thrones star, however, turned the role down due to the amount of on-screen nudity in the film. "Well, Sam is a magician. I love her, and I thought her vision was beautiful," Clarke said during the Hollywood Reporter's Drama Actress Roundtable. "But the last time that I was naked on camera was a long time ago, and yet it is the only question that I ever get asked because I am a woman." She described the questions as annoying as hell, adding, "I'm sick and tired of it because I did it for the character." Ultimately, the actor said she would not want to voluntarily walk into that situation. "We know and love Hugh Jackman from the Wolverine trilogy, but he wasn't the first actor to be cast in the role. Initially, Doug Ray Scott was originally cast as Wolverine but had to back out due to a scheduling conflict for Mission Impossible 2. Can you imagine anyone other than Kerry Washington as Olivia Pope? The show's casting director Linda Lowy revealed in 2017 that Washington wasn't the original choice for Pope, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "The network was reading us their top choices, and it was Connie and all white women. I panicked. Somebody finally piped up, 'We're going to have to redo this list,'" she continued. Ultimately, Washington was cast as Pope to portray the crisis manager, becoming the first black woman to lead a network drama in almost 4 decades. The movie that brought Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt together almost had a different leading lady. Previous reports from Entertainment Weekly said that Nicole Kidman was in negotiations to star in Mr. and Mrs. Smith but had to drop out due to a long shoot for The Stepford Wives. Another actor considered for Jolie's role. Gwen Stefani. "I feel like I almost got it," she told Howard Stern back in 2016. "I went to a bunch." She added, "Very competitive and I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do music more."
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.